Hi guys, in today's video I want to show you a new foundation stick that I'm trying. It's from Dior. It's been marketed to me on my Facebook basically until I bought it. It is the Dior Forever Skin Perfect Multi-Use Foundation Skin Blur Perfection 24-hour wear hydration. This is what it looks like. It is very expensive. It was £48. I got it from the Dior website because you get loads of little freebies if you buy things from the Dior website. It is a stick foundation. I've never really been into stick foundations, but literally the whole world was marketing this to me until I gave in and bought it. It's way more than I would normally spend. If you follow my channel, you'll know that normally my day-to-day foundation is like the cheap and cheerful Garnier BB cream, and this has not been beatable by anything really. I've tried loads of stuff and I always come back to this. But I bought this on a whim really, and I watched a lot of reviews saying it's perfumed, and it is perfumed, which I don't love. If they could take away the perfume, I would appreciate it. It's not heavily perfumed. Yeah, it smells like actual perfume rather than a perfumed cosmetic, which is very odd. And initially, on my first use of this, or first couple of uses of this isn't my first impressions, I was like, oh no, the smell is going to be too much, but it does dissipate quite quickly, and it hasn't actually bothered me that much, like not enough to put me off using it. This is in the shade, I'll show you, hang on, what the actual component looks like. It's very pretty. It's like a shiny consistency with like a nice little sort of thing on the top. It feels expensive basically. It's not sort of rattly or anything like that. I think it is a bit rattly when you take it off, but like nothing terrible. You don't get a lot of product though. Like for £48, that is it. That's all you get. So I mean, that being said, I have used this several times and it hasn't gone down loads, but it is also very sort of buttery when it goes on, so I'm surprised it hasn't gone down more. It's when you first get it out, it's like obviously wound up, and then it sort of winds to one thing and you can hear it click. If not click is probably the wrong word, but you can, like, it sort of winds to one for you to stick it, get a bit out of it. Anyway, I'll stop wittering and get on with it. I just think it's amazing because it's so easy to put on. Like, it's one of those ones that is really useful for just when you're you want to just put foundation on the go kind of thing, like if you're doing it like in the car as a passenger, or you know, like just you literally only have 5 minutes to do it. I watched a lot of reviews saying that you don't need to use that much, or if you use too much it can be a bit too much, but I mean, I don't know if I've just not been using too much, but I certainly haven't found that I've needed to be cautious with it, but also I am cautious with it because it's so expensive. But it glides on so easily. Like, I would definitely prefer it without a smell because I don't like a fragrance at the best of times, let alone on my face. And I can go off a fragrance quite quickly. I'm using the BK Beauty, this is the Angie Hot and Flashy 101, but I have many of the BK Beauty 101 foundation things. These brushes are amazing. I used this one yesterday. What I have found is that if the brush is a bit wet from a previous foundation, it goes on better. But I mean, look at that. It's literally takes 30 seconds to just blend it in. Like, I just can't believe it. I mean, I know, like, it's not like any of them take particularly ages to blend in, but like, it just, the fact that it's a stick, you would have thought would have made it harder. For some reason in my mind I thought a stick would be harder to blend in because it would have to be thicker to stay in stick form, I guess was my thought process. But this stuff is amazing. Like I say, the only thing I would also add an SPF if I could build the product of my dreams. It would basically be this, a lot cheaper, with an SPF and without a smell, because it is just so good. Like, it's definitely been rivaling my Garnier. As you can see, I mean, today I'm putting it on a completely makeup free face. So I've got a lot of redness that it's attempting to cover up. And it's just, it's such a nice texture. It's just it feels so good, basically. I'm easily pleased. So, like I say, with a dry brush, it does tend to sort of take a bit more of it off. Whereas if I use a brush that I've previously used for like a liquid, like my Garnier or whatever, so it's got a little bit of liquid on it, that makes it easier, basically. But look at that, like, you saw how red my face was before, and that has covered up basically everything. I mean, I only ever want, here's doing my head in. I only ever want a mild, you know, like fair, what's the word? Light coverage anyway, so I would never particularly go for a heavy coverage, but this is perfect for me. And you can build it up. I'm not going to, because I don't want that much coverage, but you can build it up if you want to. For me, if I don't know if this is what it's like with everyone, but if I put too much on it, I just feel like it feels like a mask, basically. Yeah, so that is it really. Like, obviously now I'll move on to do the next stages of makeup, and I would normally put concealer on after. Like, this is basically what the base layer of any of my foundations would look like. And then I will go on, I'll do a video of my full face of favourites, which this will be in, which you can see the sort of rest of the process if you want to, but I'm guessing if you're just here to look at this review, you don't necessarily need that. But yeah, I just think it's brilliant. I can't remember how much you get. Oh, 10 grams, and this is the shade 1N Neutral. I can't remember if I said that. I copied someone else like that I follow on YouTube that is basically my shade twin, and she got this shade. And it's been perfect, because I was so worried when I got it that it was going to be the wrong shade, but it's been just the perfect shade. I'll swatch it for you actually. That is what it looks like in the thing, and this is what it looks like on the hand. Like, you could see how easily that went in then. Like, it's just such a lovely texture. Look how easy that is to blend in. It was one of those ones where I watched so many videos on it and everyone seemed to be so enamored with it. I was suspicious that they were all being sponsored or whatever, but I'm definitely not being sponsored, and I paid 48 of my hard-earned pounds to buy it, and I would again. I'm pleased that I bought it. I kind of wish I didn't like it because it's so expensive, but I'm definitely pleased that I have discovered it, because I think it is really useful for just, like I say, when you're on the go and you don't necessarily want to spend ages doing your makeup. So yeah, that is it. That is the Dior Forever Skin Perfect Foundation Stick in the shade 1N. Yeah, so if you've enjoyed this video in any way, then please like and subscribe, and thanks very much for listening. Goodbye.